Chapter 96 Exile. Wake up, sunless. Your nightmare is. A kunai skips off stone. Silence. Sunny sits up, squinting at his secret lair. Engraved walls, pale wood furniture scavenged from ruins. Clever light wells long broken. It's cozy. It's dark. Exactly how he likes it. He rakes his messy hair back and exhales. Problems feel smaller under a blanket. But the waves thudding against the far city wall say night is ending. The kunai snaps back to his palm on a thin, invincible tether hook to ring pommel, a trick that almost cost fingers to learn. A new scratch joins dozens of fives. 4 months in this godforsaken city, routine keeps the mind steady, mostly. Kazi's vision was right. A vast ruin full of monsters, and a castle packed with sleepers. No gateway home. Survivors? Yes, but stranded. A graveyard of hope wearing marble. Living alone bent the edges of sanity. And it started week 3, the day a black armored knight almost ended him. He crawled away, waited to die, and didn't. Something in him changed, but he stayed standing. Wake up, sunless. Your nightmare is over. A pot of rock, a memory that repeats sounds, announces itself again. Annoying, yes. Incredibly useful, also yes. Sunny hunts alone when the others won't. Most city creatures are fallen rank, but in deep shadows he chooses his fights, or refuses them. The results? Never hungry. Chapter 97 Hunter's Dream. Life is good. Wonderful actually. A cursed city in the middle of nowhere shouldn't feel like paradise. But the quiet suits him. No duties, no small talk, no guessing other people's feelings. Freedom equals being alone. The trick he's decided is simple. Have no hope. Hope drugs minds into panic and reckless plans. Without it, the nights are calm. And the to-do list is clear. Explore, tinker, hunt. Keep telling yourself this. The shadow implies. He grins back. It's the truth. He slips from his secret chamber to the high balcony overlooking the temple. Below, his unwilling neighbor patrols. The black armored guardian, a devil by strength, if not by title, cutting down anything that enters. Sharing a roof with a devil is convenient. Nothing else survives the approach. In return, Sunny stays unseen, studies the night, and flies away a promise. One day, revenge, but not before he's much stronger. Out on the stones, tonight's target lurches into view. A blood fiend, hunch, long claws, torn shroud, jaw packed with razored teeth. Among the city's denizens, it's awakened. Not fallen. Still dangerous, especially if it smells blood. He shadows the creature, steps, soundless. Patience, absolute. On the corner ahead, an ordinary rock rests in the dust. Ordinary, except it's one of his favorite memories. The rock speaks, polite as a bellman. Behind you, the fiend whips around. Too late. Still moves like a thought. He's already recovered the blade when the spell obliged. You have slain an awakened monster, blood fiend. Your shadow grows stronger. He can't help it. Come on, say it. He grins when the runes appear. Shadow fragments. 398 out of 1000. The progress is real. Months ago, he scraped for a handful of fragments. Now, he's closing on 400. He hasn't felt close to dying in a while. He stops, footsteps, faint, approaching to the haze. He breathes once, centers the blade. Hunting hour isn't over yet. Chapter 98 Uninvited Guest. Sunny eyes the blood fiend's corpse, and then the approaching footsteps. Only lunatics roam at this hour. A ribbon of shadow pours of the midnight shard and pulls beside him, staring back with silent sarcasm. What? He asked it. The shadow only shakes its head. He jokes about tidying up for guests. But the smart move is to leave. Except the hunt isn't finished. Trophies first. He sends the Shadow to scout and digs for soul shards in the Fiend's top hide. The Shadow reports back. 6 humans, armed to the teeth. Gun lugs man, outside the walls, at night. Sunny pockets his second shard and tries to drift away. But the blue circle of light finds him. Be careful, there's a monster. With pale skin, messy hair, and armor spotted in old new stains, he gets it. Hands up. I'm a human. The squad hesitates. One guy isn't sure. Another swears no one can survive out here. The leader, older and mean-eyed, grills him. One underling has heard rumors. A crazy kid who lives alone in the ruins, hiding in the shadows. Sunny frowns as the labels piles up. Crazy rat. Boy. Then comes the line that sours the air. A crude job at changing star. Sunny whispers to the Shadow, loud enough for all. You think I should kill them? Little over the top. Let's give them a chance to apologize. He faces the chief. Insult Nevis again, and you won't like the ending. The chief laughs and sets terms. Hand over all memories, walk away breathing. Another hunter mutters they should just kill him. Sunny sighs. You want a memory? How about this one? A plain rock appears in his palm. The Paddle Rock. The leader keeps eyes locked, seasoned enough to expect a trick. The rock says behind you. Chief smirks. Do you think I'd fall for it? A silver whisper across the frame. The ring frizzes, eyes wide. Sun exhale, deadpan. So, no apologies? The knight holds its breath for the next move. Chapter 99. Pursuit. Sunny's drop clicks into place. He's dropped the dagger earlier, stepped back on purpose and waited. The Paddle Rock says behind you, and Sunny tugs the invincible tether. The kunai rips backward along a low arc. The leader smirks, then drops without a sound. Before the squad reacts, he's moving, midnight shard in hand. The kunai is still on the tether, skips and clinks across the stone, breadcrumbing noise down the lane. Get the bastard, the squad roars and gives chase. He leads them on a careful route that dodges fallen territories. These aren't behaving like the cautious hunters they should be. It's odd. At the Grand Ruin steps, the scrawny kid wavers, pretending to panic. He flinches at the sight of the pursuers and dives inside. The one-armed man slows. The rock speaks solemn. Say goodbye to your lives. A massive silhouette steps from shadow. The Black Knight, horned, helm, lusterless plates, etched with nightmare scrollwork. Visor glows with red embers. Sunny perches on the supporting beam, watching the knight finish and stalk away. He counts 6 and frowns. Disappearance like this won't go unnoticed, especially if the men were on a mission. Did I just get myself in trouble? He mutters, then slips back into the raptors. Chapter 100. Clear Conscience. The knight doesn't move for minutes, a statue of iron will. Whether it thinks or merely hunts is unclear. Sunny sorts monsters into 2 kinds. Those that come from beyond the walls and follow the spell's logic, and wraith-like revenants born from the city's dead, who break logics entirely. The Black Knight is one of the latter, which is why predicting him is impossible. Sunny sprawls on a supporting beam, eyes closed, catching breath. When the knight finally leaves, he mutters, "Good riddance." Peace returns, but his mind went idle. A voice inside prods, "Did you forget something?" Third time taking human lives. And no, there's no guilt. The first time was inside the nightmare, the second in the castle. Tonight's was self-defense, in a response to an insult. They would have robbed and killed him anyway. He still cares for Changing Star, despite their strained bond. The insult pushed a line. Friendship still matters. He drinks from Cassie's farewell gift, a cold water steadying the pulse. Restlessness wins. No more lying though. Time to move again. On the Forgotten Shore, shards are currency. 1 a week to live inside the walls. Outside, it's dangerous and hunger. Sunny's pile means years of comfort, if he wanted the castle. He doesn't. He already has a palace, no neighbors, and a terrifying free security system patrolling downstairs. 2 fresh shards joins the horde. Lid closes. Smile fades to calculation. Don't flash wealth. Too many purchases make people ask the wrong questions. Only 3 know he's more than a shadow crawler. Nephis, Cassie, and Castor. He shelves the castle trip, melts back into the raptors, and lets the city hush return. Trouble may come. He'll be ready. Chapter 101. Turf War. Castor had arrived at the castle long before Sunny, Nephis, and Cassie. He was lucky. By the time they dragged themselves in, he was already respected, already comfortable, and instead of joining Gunlug's army, he chose to side with Changing Star, boosting her strength, raising her reputation. Sunny clenched his teeth. That's when all of my problems started. Yeah, all his fault. Definitely not mine. Kicking his chest of shards with a curse, he forced a fake grin and walked out, pretending nothing had happened. Down below, monsters crept toward the cathedral, only to be torn apart by a wrathful Black Knight. Sunny paused on the beams, watching the slaughter, then slip away through the roof. Retracing his steps, he returned to the dead leader's body. No memories, no axe, just rugs. Sunny sighed. That's why killing people is not worth it. His shadow slapped a hand over its face. Sunny frowned. What? It's not. Still, he couldn't deny the truth. Killing Awakened gave essence, but his aspect, it only yielded shadow fragments. From a sleeper, just one. 1 fragment away from 400, he muttered bitterly. Searching the body, Sunny hoped for treasure, soul shards, a stash, anything. Instead, he found a cloth, a crude drawing, shapes scratched in ink. Sunny blinked. Is that a map? The landmarks were familiar. The ruins, the square, places he had walked before. A treasured map? He snorted. Probably a scam. Probably some swindler's trick back at the castle. And yet, but what if it's real? He stared at the fabric, torn between disgust and greedy curiosity. Boom! A thunderous crash shattered the night. A building collapsed in a cloud of dust. A massive monster was hurled through the air, smashing into stone. Blood sprayed the street as its body twitched and stilled. Dead, Sunny shoved the map into his armor and dove into the shadows. The roar came closer. Still clash, no human voices. A battle between nightmare creatures? That was rare and terrifying. He climbed, quiet as breath, up the old wall, across the rooftop, to its edge. And then he saw it, the square, dark, desolate. In its center, a moving statue full of hulking monsters, still bringing out as their colossal forms clash. Sunny's eyes gleamed. What the hell am I looking at? Chapter 102. Stone Saint. The square lay in ruins. Shattered body of stone warriors sprawled across the cobblestones. Their once mighty forms now lifeless heaps. Sunny blinked. They actually lost. The living statue, disciplined, fearless, and near indestructible, had been toppled. Their broken armor and blades had turned back into plain stone. 5, 6 of them. And standing over their corpses, hulking spiders, plated in black iron. Each step cracked, the ground beneath them. One remained, a female stone warrior, shield lifted, sword resting against its rim. Her ruby eyes glowed, burning with silent resolve. Compared to the massive spiders, she looked small, fragile even. But Sunny narrowed his eyes. He could feel it. She wasn't done yet. The spiders circled, savoring her doom. He smirked. Go on then. finish her. But instead of waiting, clang clang, she struck her sword against her shield twice and charged. Wait, now? The first spider launched, a leg like a spear tearing toward her chest. She deflected, slammed forward with her shield, and boom, the giant toppled backward. Her blade lashed down again and again. Sparks flew, stone and metal screeched. A rain of blows hammered its abdomen until cracks spread across the iron plates. The second spider joined the fight. The square erupted into chaos. A storm of claws, stone, and steel. The statue moved like a demon, shield slamming, sword slashing, every strike filled with pure fury. Her stone body cracked apart piece by piece, chunks falling away like vandalized sculpture. But the spiders bled too. Fetid black ichor sprayed across the square, mixing with severed limbs and broken armor. It wasn't a fight anymore. It was a massacre. One spider fell with a final twitch, dead. The last beast lunged. Her shield rose one final time, and was torn away along with her arm. But in that same instant, a pierce. Her black blade drove to the monster's skull. The spider collapsed. So did she. Sunny exhaled, shaking his head. A lowly awakened creature, taking down two fallen beasts? Midnight Shard would have loved that. The square was silent. Blood, rubble, broken stone. The battle was over, and nobody won. Chapter 103. Code de Grace. The dust cleared. Sunny dropped from the rooftop and walked through the pools of fetid blood toward the last fallen statue. Her black armor was cracking, turning back into stone. Streams of ruby dust flowed like blood from her broken body. Crimson gem eyes flickered weakly, dimming with each passing moment. Sunny exhaled. Life is not fair, huh? Shink. The midnight shard pierced her visor. Her still body finally stilled. And then, the spell whispered, "You have slain an awakened monster, Stone Saint. Your shadow grows stronger." And then, "You have received an echo, Stone Saint." Sunny froze. Wait, what? Sunny's eyes widened. Did you hear that too? His shadow crossed its arm, glaring, silent. Sunny grinned. Exactly. It did say echo. He spun in a circle, humming, almost dancing, then froze. Oh, right. Maybe I should get out before something worse shows up. But his gaze slid back into the battle pit, glittering with corpses and shards. His grin turned sharp. Actually, souvenirs first. He dropped to his knees beside the broken statues, digging for shards. Every second mattered. One shard, two shards. Then, crunch. A sound froze him mid-reach. Something was coming. Sunny's jaw clenched. Damn. Greed kills. He stuffed the last shard into his armor and dashed away. The kunai flew. Whoosh. Wrapping around a stone column. He shot into the air like grappling hook master. Who needs Spider-Man when you've got this? From the streets below came a horrifying sound. A hissing melody. Countless mouths whispering in unison. The ground trembled. The noise slithered closer. Sunny didn't wait. He scrambled up the ruined wall, leaping into the roof just as the whispers filled the square. His heart pounded. Whatever the hell that was, is not my problem. By the time Sunny reached the cathedral, dawn's first light glowed faintly on the horizon. The Black Knight marched endlessly below, his armor dripping menace. Sunny sighed. One day, I'll kill you, but not today. He slipped back into his lair, placed the shard into his overflowing chest, and leaned back into a carved wooden chair. For the first time in months, his grin wasn't cynical, it was excited. Finally, time to learn what separates an echo from a shadow. Chapter 104. Soul Arsenal. Sunny dove into his soul sea. Calm water stretched endlessly, the black sun of his shadow core hovering above. Shadows lined the edges, monsters he had slain, frozen reminders of every battle, his own personal museum. Then he froze. Among them, a gaunt, hollow-eyed young man's shadow, one of the humans he had killed. Sunny's jaw tightened. Don't look at me like that. It was your fault for asking questions. He spun away, cursing under his breath, trying to ignore the guilt. He moved past the blood fiend, the fallen hunters, until his gaze landed on a stone saint's shadow. A smile tugged at his lips. This was why he was here, to call forth his echo. Her last stand had been legendary. A single awakened fighting two fallen beasts. Now that power could be his. Sunny's heart quickened. Let's see what miracle my aspect can pull off this time. Before the echo, Sunny browsed his memories. The prowling thorn, his deadly kunai, he muttered. Like a fickle young beauty, huh? Did the spell get dumped or something? The ordinary rock. Just a rock that talks. The word is mightier than the sword. No, the rock is mightier than the word. He snorted. The most honest memory in two worlds. And it had to land with me. Thanks, spell. Thanks a lot. Then came Cassie's gift, the endless spring. A fragile glass bottle holding infinite water. A farewell memory. His sigh, strangely touched. The rest, junk. A too heavy shield, armor worse than his shroud. A glass eye shooting harmless, red beams. And that stupid silver bell. His first memory. Loud and obnoxious. Sunny rolled his eyes. Some collector's set of got. Half treasures, half trash. Still, he had more shards to trade later. For now, his gaze rose to the brightest spear. The one pushing above them all. The spear dimmed, and from it, the stone saint emerged. Granite skin, graceful black armor, crimson gem eyes dim but unyielding. Eerily human-like. Sunny's lips parted. Awe, excitement, greed, an echo. My stone saint here. In the still silence of his soul sea, she stood like a statue. But soon, she would move. Soon, her strength would be his. Chapter 105. Living Stone. Sunny replayed the death of the stone saint in his mind. At first, he thought they were just walking statues, wraith, in armor like the Black Knight. But the ruby dust that bled from her wounds, the way her armor felt ancient compared to the knight's, it didn't add up. Statues don't bleed, he muttered. Maybe they weren't undead at all. Maybe they were artificial life. The echo awoke. Magenta flames ignited in her gem eyes, stone armor shimmering faintly as though alive. Sunny focused on the runes. Echo, Stone Saint, rank, awakened, class, monster, attributes, battle master, stalwart, mark of divinity. Sunny froze. Wait, mark of divinity? The same as me? No wonder they were killing machines. Born to fight, resistance to mind and soul attacks. Creation of the unknown, designed for war. Switching to his altered sight, Sunny looked deeper. The saint's body glowed with diamond threads woven into impossible patterns, just like his memories and echoes, but behind them, adamantine threads, like nerves piercing her stone flesh. It's the same technique, Sunny whispered, chills creeping down his spine. The spell's craftsmanship, and hers, connected, echoes of the unknown. Then he laughed bitterly. Makes sense. Wait, how the hell does it make sense? Standing before the echo, Sunny hesitated. His fingers brushed her breastplate, warm, alive, as if a flame burned in her chest. A prompt appeared. Transform Echo into a shadow? He froze. What if she weakened? What if she broke? This was no ordinary companion. This was power incarnate. Sunny's breath shook. Yes. The soul sea trembled. Dark water stirred, as if wind had touched the still surface. Two beams of darkness descended from the shadow core, one onto the saint's echo, the other onto her shadow lingering among the silent ranks. Shadow dissolved into the beam. The echo's body shuddered, shifting, changing. Sunny swallowed hard, eyes locked in awe. What are you becoming? Chapter 106. Creating a Monster. The stone saint's echo began to change. Dark radiance poured from the shadow core. wrapping her like a black fire. Her stone flesh darkened to pure midnight, her ruby eyes burning brighter, more menacing than before. Wisps of shadow fog curled around her armor, swallowing all light. Sunny's altered sight pierced deeper. The diamond strings dissolved, replaced by a sea of living shadow in her form. A new being, not just an echo, a shadow. The darkness fell silent until the spell whispered, "You have created a shadow monster, Stone Saint." Sunny's smile spread wide. Finally, success. But almost immediately, it faded. His body trembled with weakness, his strength drained. The cost of 100 shadow fragments hit him all at once. I knew this would happen. Still, regret couldn't outweigh triumph. This was worth everything. The Stone Saint turned her head. Crimson light followed his every move, silent and imposing like a demon knight awaited orders. Sunny circled her slowly, grinning in awe. "This is amazing." Then, glancing at his own shadow on the ground, he coughed awkwardly. You're not jealous, right, buddy? I mean, you're still my most trusted confidant. A fantastic scout, totally not useless." His shadow crossed its arms and looked away. Sunny groaned. This guy, he'd better step up his game. Sunny pulled the runes into view. Shadow, Stone Saint, rank, awakened, class, monster, attributes, battle master, stalwart, spark of divinity. His jaw dropped. Wait, spark of divinity? That's my trait. Did it evolve because she's mine? For once, he wasn't just impressed, he was floored. The Stone Saint was no longer just a weapon. She was a miracle wrapped in black steel. Sunny chuckled, reading the description. Created by treacherous lost from light, he groaned. Again with the treachery stuff. Can I please get a cooler title? But his smile vanished as he read the last line. Shadow fragments, 0 out of 200. 0? All his fragments gone. He'd be starting from scratch. Still, as he stared at the towering figure of the Stone Saint, silent and eternal, Sunny whispered with both awe and fear, "Worth it." Chapter 107, Growing Shadow. Sunny froze. Then, like lightning, understanding struck. Echoes? They were frozen copies, static, always bound to what they were at death. But shadows? Shadows could grow, change. His eyes widened. Wait, that means... Just as Sunny grew stronger with fragments, so too could his shadows. They weren't dead weight, they were evolving weapons, immortal allies that could never fall behind. The thought made him grin ear to ear. You and I, we're going to do great things together, buddy. The possibilities raced through his mind. Other awakened struggled to find higher rank echoes, fallen, corrupted, or worse, too rare, too deadly. But not him. He could raise weak shadows into monsters, slowly, patiently, until one day, he commanded an army of living darkness. Imagine it. They fight. I sit back, sipping cocktails. He smirked. That's what rich people drink, right? The excitement dimmed. A problem. How the hell do I feed her fragments? No amounts of runes touching the echo, or glaring at the spell helped. He even looked at his shadow for advice. His shadow stood there, expressionless, silent. Sunny groaned. Don't give me that look, you traitor. He clutched his head, pacing. Alright, think. When my scavenger killed something, I got the fragments, not him. So if she kills, will it work? He glanced up the outside world. Daylight. Sunny grimaced. Normally, he'd be fast asleep, safe in shadows. Night hunts were dangerous enough, but day, exposed. Every fallen horror could see him. He remembered near-death lessons, intestine almost spilling, days crawling in the dirt. Survival came from cowardice, from caution. But now he had the stone saint. Was it worth the risk? Should I? He wanted proof that Stone Saint wasn't just a monument of stone and shadow, but a weapon that could grow. His hand clenched, his grin returned. Fine, let's see what you can do. Chapter 108 Test Dummy. Instead of turning into a spear of light like an echo, she was pulled back into the depths of Shadow Core, sleeping within his soul. He scratched his head. So, the shadow lives in my shadow, inside the Shadow Core, in the shadows. Yeah, this is getting ridiculous. Still, it felt fitting. He was a child of shadows, after all. Back in his lair, the fire crackled under his makeshift stove. Orange light flickered across engraved stone walls. He sighed. Oh right, I forgot fresh meat. The thought of hunting tugged at him, but he slapped himself mentally. No, that's how you get killed. So, instead, he had a better idea. Alright, time to summon you inside. Let's see what you can do. The shadows deepened. 2 crimson flames ignite in the dark. Step by step, the Stone Saint emerged from its shadow itself. A black knight wreathed in ghostly smoke. Armor clanked as she stepped into the stone floor, hand resting on her sword. Sunny winced at the sight. So, a shadow came out of the shadow. From my shadow, standing next to my shadow. Yup, out of hand. Any ideas for names? His shadow stared, silent. The Stone Saint? Silent. Sunny groaned. Ah, fine. Guess I'm on my own. He braced himself, wrapping his body in shadow strength. Alright, strike me. He thought she'd hesitate, maybe need persuasion. Instead, the armored fist slammed into his chest like a runaway train. Wood shattered. Sunny flew back, straight through his magnificent chair, splinters everywhere. Oh no, my chair! He groaned, spitting blood, but quickly gave a thumbs up. Good. 10 out of 10. Yeah, that hurts. He rolled to his stomach, wheezing. Note to self, amend experiments. He eyed the Stone Saint, who stood silently like nothing happened. Her ruby eyes glowed with calm menace. Sunny coughed, then grinned painfully. Alright, lesson 1. Never ask her to hold back. Lesson 2. Find a new chair. Chapter 109 Soulmates. Sunny staggered back to the fire, ribs aching, blood on his lips. The smell of roasted monster meat filled the air. By the time his meal was done, Bloodwhip had already pushed him enough to sit straight. On his silver plate, his treasure rarer than enchanted swords. Dinner gleamed. He glanced at the Stone Saint, who stared with burning ruby eyes. Uncomfortable, he raised a piece. You want some? Nothing. Not even a twitch. Fine, more for me then. He tore into the meat with prowling thorn as a fork, grinning. Ah, that's the life. Wiping his mouth, Sunny decided it was time. Would his shadow control empower his new shadow? His shadow flowed like water, wrapping around the Stone Saint. She absorbed it, her ruby eyes blazing brighter, armor glowing with eerie black radiance. Smoke seeped from her, chilling the chamber. The once imposing knight now radiated with terrifying majesty. Twice as strong, twice as deadly. Sunny sulked. Why does she look cooler than me when using the shadow? I'm the divine shadow here. Where's my mysterious aura? He sighed, then grinned. Killing monsters is great, but killing monsters while looking good? Even better. Excited, he dismissed her, then summoned her back into the Soul Sea. She appeared on the dark waters, a black knight with crimson eyes waiting. His eyes lifted to the spear of light floating above. What if I can equip her with memories? He smirked. This could change everything. Sunny summoned a massive tower shield, nearly as tall as him, heavy, unwieldy, but perfect for her. He held it out. Here, take this, please. The stone saint looked down, then raised her hands and took it. Yes, that's right. Now, use it. And then, the shield shattered in her gauntlets, exploding into sparks. Sunny froze, eyes wide. No, my shield! The sparks didn't fade. Instead, they circled the stone saint, flowing into her body. Streams of light sank into the embers glowing in her chest and abdomen. A message whispered in the air. Stone Saint has grown stronger. Sunny blinked, stunned. Wait, she can eat memories? His sorrow turned awe. First his chair, now his shield. But in return, he had gained something terrifying. Chapter 110. Memento. Sunny stared at the stone saint, dumbfounded. His tower shield was gone, eaten like a snack. But the runes didn't lie. Stone Saint has grown stronger. He pulled up her stats at the very bottom. Shadow fragments, 2 out of 200. His eyes widened. The shield had come from a monster with 2 awakened cores. She gained fragments from eating it, just like he did from killing. So, she really eats memories. Sunny's grin spread with wild excitement. He summoned his next test subject, a disgusting ballistic eye, its vertical pupils glaring. This one's useless anyway. Go ahead. The stone saint crushed it in her gauntlets. Shards burst into sparks, flowing into her chest and abdomen. Stone saint has grown stronger. Shadow fragments, 3 out of 200. Sunny threw his back, laughing. Yes, she really does feed on them. Next, Sunny summoned a bulky, rusted suit of armor from a termite hive he had burned down. It hovered uselessly in the soul sea. Finally, you can be worth something. The Stone Saint grasped it and devoured it whole. Stone Saint has grown stronger. Shadow fragments, 6 out of 200. Each time the number ticked higher, Sunny felt an intoxicating thrill. His night was leveling up right before his eyes. This is better than gambling. Lost in the rush, Sunny grabbed his next memory. A small cerebral bell. His first memory. The one from his first nightmare. Weak, yes, but priceless. A reminder of where it all began. The runes whispered its description. A small memento of a long-lost home. Sunny's grin faded. His hand trembled. Slowly, he dismissed it, eyes bleak. Yeah, not this one. The thrill drained out of him all at once. The laughter, the mania, gone. That's enough for today. Leaving the soul sea, he trudged to his bed, dismissing the puppeteer shroud. Sunny dropped under the blanket and closed his eyes. What a long day. Sleep swallowed him instantly.